Well, friends, how you doing? Day 1381. Hope you're doing amazing. I just want to come in and just share with you some notes and reflections I got from a virtual event that I just attended. It's called Rise and Thrive. It's for entrepreneurs. And there are two guest speakers. One was Jamie Lee McKern. And so she is the founder of It Cosmetics. And she actually sold it for $1.2 billion to, I think it was Estee Lauder. And the other guest speaker was Magic Johnson, Irvin Magic Johnson. And so he is a NBA All-Star. But yeah, so a couple things I got from each of them. Jamie Lee McKern, she shared her journey of how she actually built her brand. And so she said the first couple of years, she was just working her butt off, getting rejection after rejection after rejection. All these companies were saying no. What was it? VCS or QS is the online or TV selling model. Sephora, all these companies were saying no, no, no. They didn't want to have her cosmetics, but she had such a deep why, and she reframed the rejection that she had during that process. So she basically said every rejection was, in her words, God's protection and redirection. And so anytime you're going to build a business or a brand or anything really, you're going to have lots of rejection. And it's how you deal with it that will determine whether or not you can actually make it to become successful. And then the second thing she talked about was just her self-worth. She had a lot of challenges with that because of dealing with all the rejection. She even told a story where she already made it big and had a lunch with Oprah Winfrey, another billionaire. And she said, "Yeah, call me anytime." And she didn't call her for 4 years because of whatever reasons that she made up in her head. But at the end of the day, it was just her not feeling worthy, and she had to work through that. And then with Magic Johnson, man, he shared a few things. So number one, he talked about how he was able to actually have his boss, Jerry Buss, open some doors for him, and basically acted as his mentor. And Jerry Buss said, "There's two things he can do for you," or was it Magic who asked him? I think it's Magic who asked him two things he wanted. No, I think it's the other way around. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyways, one was for him to succeed on the basketball court, which he was confident he can do. And then number two was about business and learning business. And so that's how Jerry Buss became his mentor. And he was actually able to open the doors for Magic to sit down with 50 CEOs. And many of them were the season ticket holders. And even to this day, he still has 6 of them as his mentor. And he talks about how he was able to just take them out to lunch. All 50 of them he invited out to lunch. And at this time he was in the NBA. He was a player, and so they knew of him. And all 50 said yes, and he was able to pick their brain, just learn a little bit from each of them, so that it can prepare him for business afterwards. And so he was one of the initial, I think, investor for Starbucks when it came to franchising. And he came early one day, and two of these guys got so excited seeing him, spilled some coffee, and then the manager came out and there was a long lineup of customers at the time. It was early in the morning, people trying to just get their drinks and get out to work, and this was in LA as well. And he said the major, what do you call it, major demographics there were brown and black people. And so when he spilled the coffee, the manager came to actually help mop it up and try to clean it up. And Magic said, "Don't worry, I got it. Why don't you just stay focused on serving the customers?" And then Magic actually went back, grabbed the mop, and cleaned it up himself. And so the two people there saw that and said to him, "You know what, I'm going to tell my grandson exactly what happened here and let them know that you guys put the customers first." And so, yeah. So when it comes to business, you need to serve the customer, meet them where they're at, serve them the best you can. Um, and then the last thing he talked about is just teaching your children. He talked about don't let them be entitled, because he had his daughter who was young and wanted to start a business and say, "Oh, hey, daddy, can you give me money for this?" And he said, "Okay, well, what's the business plan?" And she's like, "What are you talking about business plan? Like, I'm your daughter." And he's like, "Well, why don't you write a business plan and we can talk?" And so, she's like, don't you want to see me succeed and support me? And he says, "Well, of course." But he wanted to actually look after her, meaning he wanted to help set her up for success. And so she wrote it, came back. He says, you're missing these three things, including profit loss statement and a couple other things. So he sent her back to redo it. She came back and she filled it, and then he finally gave her the money. So after 5 years, she's still in business and growing it. And she said that, and he said that her daughter has 6 close friends who are all entrepreneurs as well, but have all folded their businesses. And she's the only one who's still standing. And she thanked him one day just out of the blue and said, "Thank you so much for making me write that business plan." And then, so yeah, that's just, again, he just wanted to remind people to not just, don't just give your children anything they want or need because you love them, but set them up. Set them up for success. Don't let them take the shortcut. Don't let them be entitled. Make them work. Make them earn, I should say. Make them earn it. But anyways, it was a really great, motivating talk. Apparently it's still accessible for a number more days, so I'm going to definitely listen to it a few times. There were a few more stories that are really, really great, but I love listening to people who are way further ahead than me. That's how I can learn a lot quicker and get to where I want to be. Hopefully you have some mentors in your life or some people that are where you want to be in whatever area of life that you want, and hopefully you can pick their brains to help you create what it is that you want in your life. Anyways, hope you have an amazing night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.